Hello everybody, I hope everyone is doing well and welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my monthly roundup. So I'm going to be giving you my final review of all the new products I brought in to my collection this month. So as always, I have three categories. I have my ultimate favorites, the products that are very unique to me and the ones that I see myself using time and time again. And then the second category is my liked products, so the products that aren't the most unique, but I still really enjoy them and I still will use them. And then the last one are my disappointments and my misses. So before we get into today's video, I would love for you to subscribe if you aren't already. It would mean so much to me, and let's get to it. Okay, so I'm going to kick this video off with the Maybelline Lifter glosses. I've only tried these two shades so far. The shade Stone, which is my favorite, and the shade Crystal. Crystal's really beautiful. It looks very glittery in the bottle, but when you actually wear it, it just has a pearlescent glitter, so it's not metallic or anything. It just reflects the light even more and makes it look even glossier, which I love. But my favorite one is just this flat color, Stone. It's such a perfect everyday color. I find it to be quite similar to the Tower 28 Cashew, just a little bit warmer. I just really like this texture. It almost feels more like a lip oil rather than a gloss. I really enjoy that. It feels very lightweight on the lips, very thin. It doesn't get all gloopy at all, and it also doesn't bleed away from your lips, which I really enjoy and find to be quite rare for drugstore glosses. And I actually love this packaging so much. It kind of gives me like KKW vibes a little bit, or it looks very elevated. So I highly recommend these. These are beautiful. Moving on, I do have a few products that I just talked about in my VIB sale recommendation video. So a few of these things are going to be a little repetitive, so I'm sorry about that. So I'm going to be talking about the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Superstar Glow Highlighter. If you were watching all of my videos from this month, there's no lie that I am completely in love with this highlighter. I don't think I've ever loved a powder highlighter as much as this one. It's so nice and velvety and creamy. I'll give it a nice little swatch here. It just reflects the light in such a beautiful way. It has no glitter in it whatsoever. There's never going to be a powder highlight that I love that has glitter in it. It's just not gonna happen, you guys. But this highlighter is so nice. I love how it just melts into your foundation or your base. It just makes it look so flawless and very natural. You can build it up to a very intense look if you would like, but for me personally, I like to just build it to a very sheer moment. Here, I built it up a little bit more so it's a little more reflective, but I just love how sheer it is. It's beautiful and I can't say enough good things, so highly recommend it. I am so excited to have this in my collection, and I wish it wasn't limited edition, but thankfully it's a huge pan, so I'll have it for a while. So I have a couple cream blushes here. The first one I want to talk about is the Honest Beauty blush in the shade Rose Pink. I really like this texture because it reminds me a lot of the Nudestix Nudies. Here it is swatched right here. I really like this. It feels very high end, and I really like how it's on the more affordable side. I've been really liking playing around with these more pinky toned blushes. I don't know who I am. New tones, who dis. I've been enjoying switching it up, and this formula is fantastic. There's nothing else I really have to say other than that it's beautiful. Another one that I have here, this is more of a sheer formula, which is nice. It has more of a balmy texture. This is the Bobbi Brown Pot Rouge for lips and cheeks. This is the shade Fresh Melon, but there's another one that I really like. It's in the shade Powder Pink. It's a beautiful everyday pinky tone. I don't know why I'm talking about pink blushes so much all of a sudden. I don't know what's come over me, but this formula is very beautiful. I find it to be quite similar to the Fenty Beauty Cream Blush formula. If you're familiar with that, it's swatched right here. This one is a very sheer color. I like to reach for that formula if I'm doing a no makeup look. It just gives you a nice little flush of color, and I love the texture as well. It's very balmy and glowy. It makes your skin look very dewy, which I love. And especially for the winter time when my skin isn't as dewy as it usually is, I think I'm going to be reaching for this formula a lot. So that's another one that I am really happy I welcomed into my collection. Moving on, this is the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. I love this stuff. I already made a pretty good dent for having this for only a couple weeks. This has made it into my everyday routine. I really like it, even if I do get a lot of rest. I just love the texture that it adds under the eye. I feel like it's a really great primer for concealer as well. I find when I use this, my concealer creases less, I don't know what it is. I like to apply this with my beauty blenders, and that way I just have the perfect amount, because I do find if I apply it with a brush or with my finger, I tend to over apply, and then that's when things get a little creasy and crazy. I like how this one is not too vibrant, because I found a couple years ago when color correcting was the big new thing, the color correctors were just way too pigmented, and then I found that you were just adding a lot more concealer to cover up the color of the correctors. It was just kind of a silly moment. But this just adds a lot of glow. It brightens up the under eye perfectly, corrects the darkness in such a quick and easy manner. It's fantastic. I'm so happy to have this. It brightens up the inner corner so beautifully. I am so thankful for this product. I love it. Moving on to some eye products. I talked about these recently in my VIB video, but these are the JULIAA Chromatic Liquid Powder Chromatic Eye Tints. These are my two favorite colors, Sheen and Hatch. Here, I'll swatch them once again. Sheen is a beautiful bronzy gold leaning shade, and Hatch is this very beautiful concrete cool tone with a little hint of sage and like a mossy color. It's beautiful. These are stunning. I love working with these. These have really made me fall in love with like an all over shimmery eye look, kind of like what I'm wearing today. As a side note, I did film this look, so keep tuned for another full face of clean beauty coming soon. But anyways, you can build them up to get more of a dramatic look, or just apply a very sheer amount and you'll get such a nice, shiny, healthy look. I just adore it. I need to use these on my channel again, but the way I like to apply it is I'll take the wand directly and apply it to my mobile lid, and then I'll take a brush and then work from that product to get a nice diffused look. I find that that works the best. When these dry down, they stay put too, which is really great, but they're not uncomfortable feeling. They just truly feel like a normal powder eyeshadow, which is really nice. So highly recommend these. These are super cool. Following that, I have this new mascara I've been trying out. This is the Air Volume Mega Mascara from L'Oreal Paris. I adore this mascara. It's probably one of my favorite from the drugstore mascaras I've tried. It fits right in with all of my other top favorite higher end mascaras. I love how it lengthens and volumizes my lashes so quickly. It applies very quickly, like you don't have to sit there and struggle to get a beautiful lash. It just applies effortlessly, and I love that. It's not too hard to take off as well, which is always great. I've never experienced any smudging, nor have I experienced any crumbling, so it's just a very beautiful solid formula, and I believe it's $12 Canadian, which is fantastic. And I really love this packaging. For some reason it reminds me of one of those Airstream trailers. I don't know what it is about it. I guess it's just this shiny texture. But anyways, so now I have some eyeshadows here. So the first one I want to talk about is this Makeup by Mario Master Crystal Reflector. I completely love this. This is a fantastic topper formula. I still need to use this in one of my videos. I did film one video using this, but then I never uploaded it because I didn't like how it turned out. I was in a weird mood. But anyways, look at that reflection. It looks like gloss. It's beautiful. This is definitely a highlighter for your eyes. I would never wear this on my face since it's so glittery, but I love how sheer it is. It's a beautiful topper. The way it reflects the light almost reminds me of the Pat McGrath glitters. Ugh, and those are some of my all-time favorite coveted products I have. So this just was immediately welcomed when I purchased it. And it's a fun texture as well because it kind of feels bouncy in the pan. I don't know if you can, yeah. So it kind of feels like a Super Shock shadow, but it's not as wet feeling. It's very interesting. It truly feels like a normal eyeshadow, but it's bouncy. It's weird, but I love it. So highly recommend those. I might pick up the 2 other shades that he offers. I just was playing it safe and I just picked up one just in case if I hated them. I have a few other Makeup by Mario products here that I'm going to talk about. First, with the Master Mattes, I am completely in love with this eyeshadow palette. It performs so beautifully. I talked about this again in my VIB one, so I'll keep it short, but this is a fantastic formula. These mattes definitely stand out to me. They apply so effortlessly and they give a very airbrush softened look. I've never had any issues blending them out whatsoever, and they're so nicely pigmented. I have been using this shade right here as an eyeliner. It's the perfect complementary tone for my eyes, but it's still a neutral. So I've just been loving these so much. And this is my other Makeup by Mario palette I picked up. This is the Master Metals. These are very unique. They are insanely pigmented. These are so beautiful because there's no chunky glitter in them. They just reflect the light so beautifully. And they're so fun because when you wet them, it truly looks like liquid metal, which is so fun. You know those videos you see time to time on the internet with like the liquid, I don't know what metal it is, but I don't know why, but I just want to eat it. I don't know why I said that. I'm probably going to cut that out, but that's what it reminds me of when I dampen these shadows. So do I want to eat them? I don't know. I need to eat some supper. Oh my god, why am I swatching these like this? Look at that reflection. They're just amazing. I'm speechless. I'm really happy I went ahead and purchased this. I'm really happy to have this in my collection. I feel like it's a very unique piece. And then the last product in this category is the Rare Beauty eyeshadow palette, the Confident Energy one. I love all of these colors in here. This is the one out of the two that I was most drawn to. The other one I did pass on to a friend, but I just adore these shimmers so very much. They're highly impactful. This is a really nice shimmer formula. They're very pigmented, so creamy. Here they all are right here. I just really like this one. It suits a lot of my looks I like to do. I love lime green and I love teal as well, and this one is so stunning. I did an Instagram look with this on, and I love this bronzy shade too. If I want to do something similar to what I'm wearing today, this is a great one. I think these two eyeshadow palettes make a little match in heaven. I love how they're almost the same size. I personally didn't like the shimmer shades that he came out with. They didn't super draw me in, but these ones right here super did. So this has been a popular combo over the past month. I love it. I love it so, so much. So now moving on to my liked category, I only have two products in this one. So the first one I want to talk about is the Bobbi Brown Intensive Skin Serum Foundation with SPF 40. I will keep this around and I want to try this out a couple of more times. It's been weird. I've had some, I either love it or I hate it. It switches day by day, which is really weird. One day I'll love it, it'll look flawless, smooth, not texture enhancing, perfect color, and then the next it'll be a completely different color. It'll turn very pink on me, it kind of oxidizes, and I can't figure out what it is that makes it switch day to day. I don't know. So I'll have to, chuck it on the floor apparently. I'll have to try this out a couple of more times, but when it looks good, it looks so good. In my first video using this, it looked fantastic, and it looked that way until the moment I washed it off. The next product I'm going to be talking about are the YSL, the Slim Glow Matte Lipsticks. I do really like these and they're stunning. There's a couple here that I adore. They just smell so good. The packaging is one of my favorites ever for a lipstick component. I love the slim packaging. It's stunning, and the little mirrored effect with the logo, it just looks super sharp. And here are a few shades that I love. This one right here, which is this beautiful brown tone nude, it's the shade 210. The one in the middle, which is like a nice deeper red, is the shade 202, and the brightest red here is 204. They're stunning. The only issue that I have is I find them that they're not the most unique, and some of them have some chunky glitter in it that I don't understand why it's in there. It is a nice solid formula. I just don't find it to be the most exciting, but the packaging itself is beautiful. I love how it rolls up into a little diamond shape. I do prefer their tatouage lipsticks. I find those to be very unique, and I love the applicator on that one as well. It gives like a really nice sharp look. I find with this, the way that these are shaped, it's really hard to get a nice crisp lip line. I wouldn't be able to just use this without a lip liner. I just find that this is a little hard to navigate when you're applying it, but I do really enjoy the colors and I will use them time to time. I went and grabbed one. I would recommend this formula a lot more because of the applicator. It allows you to get a really precise application. I would recommend these over these. So now let's move on to my disappointments of the month. So first, starting off with this Dior eyeshadow palette. This is the Mitza palette. I love the looks of this palette. It looks so beautiful, but sadly all the textures in here just didn't perform like I would think a Dior palette would. It does not perform like a high-end product. I did have a lot of trouble blending pretty much all of the shades out. Even the shimmers in here didn't really translate as a shimmer. It looked like more of a matte with some loose glitter running through it, and it was just really hard to build up. Even when I was working with the dampened brush, they were really hard to work with. For me, this is a total miss. I would not recommend this product. Moving along, these really made me sad. They're beautiful. They're the Melt Cosmetics Digital Dust Duo Blushes. They're so nice to look at. I love the little indentation with the honeycombs and the bees. Just all the packaging is stunning and the product itself looks beautiful. I just did not like the skin finish that these gave. The colors are beautiful as well. They just didn't translate that beautifully. They just are very texture enhancing when you apply them. It accentuated every pore, and they are quite glittery too, which is kind of a downer. They're stunning to look at. I love the concept. I just don't like the skin finish. So sadly, I just wouldn't recommend these. I find them to be too texture enhancing. Next up, I have this Haus Labs bronzer and highlighter duo. They're the same formula as the blushes as well, so I'm going to speak for the blushes too. These aren't special at all. Like, I completely forgot about them. They don't feel high quality whatsoever. Like, when you swatch them, they just go on like full chalk, and they have really ashy undertones. I just really did not enjoy these at all. I found that they looked just kind of cheap, and they aren't priced as an affordable product, and there's so many beautiful products at the drugstore that perform 10 times better than this, so I would not recommend these. And the last product I'm going to be talking about, which made me really sad, is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation. I've tried this upwards of 7 times, really trying to make it work. I've tried everything. I've tried just with moisturizer, different types of primers. I've tried using it with a sponge, my hands, a brush, a combination of things. Everything I would do just wasn't working, and I'm just not about to struggle to make something work when I have like 10 other foundations in my collection that work perfectly and I don't have to worry about it. Talking about this foundation kind of sounds like my last relationship, forcing things to work. I'm not a believer in forcing things to work. If it's not easy, then get out. Wow, look at me getting deep over makeup. But anyways, this one did not work out for me. It made my skin look so old, so textured, so dry. No matter what I would do, if I would add any spray into it, nothing would work. It just is not worth it for me, so I don't recommend this foundation at all. This is probably the worst foundation I have tried to date. And I know a lot of people are very protective over this foundation. Every time I say that I don't like it, I get a lot of comments telling me what to do, but I've done it all and it's just not for me. It's just one of the products that just fight with my skin. So sad, but true. So those are all the new products I tried out this month. I really hope you enjoyed today's video and found it helpful. Let me know what you'd like to see next in the comments down below. It'd be very helpful. I'll make sure to link all of these products in the description down below as always, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Love you. Bye.